its attributes, how to use them. And these are the basic form attributes we learned. I given an overview of various attributes like name, ID, class, value, length, min length and max length, minimum and maximum, required, read-only, disabled, multiple, and placeholder, size, width, height, autofocus and autocomplete. These are some options. And in the form elements, input element attributes, some more attributes we need to know how to use them. Few more attributes are there. Another one, we have a form attribute like list. We have a list attribute. Technically, list it refers to data list. Data list. So it usually refers to data list. Actually, data list is a collection. Data list is a collection of options. Data list is a collection of options, so which are displayed automatically, which are displayed automatically. They are displayed automatically. So when a user is keying in the characters in any input element. So data list is a collection of options which are displayed automatically when user is keying in the characters in any input element. That means user is keying in the characters means when user is typing some characters. When user is typing some characters, while typing, the input will show some suggestions which are related to the characters that user is typing. Actually, it is a custom autocomplete for input. We can create our own autocomplete for input. So let's see that how to handle this. Actually, it requires data list. Data list is a tag. Data list is an element. This data list element contains collection of options. Options are defined as option. Yeah. So how to use this list? Let's see one example for that. How we can deal with the list. How we can access and use the list. Technically, in order to use list, we have to first prepare a data list. So let's design that. So let's go into the design. I will create a new file just as a data list.html. Data list input.html. Here, let's add the basic doc type HTML, head and a title. And we are defining the title. Just add some data list and body, a div. Let's align to center. And here is defined some font. So size is equal to some 6 and let's say Google like this. And here we are adding another div. So below this we have a text box. Input type is equal to text. And here we given size as 40. Now this is a basic design. Let's run this and see. So last session we learned that text can be defined with some size and we are configuring it. This is general, some text is available here. And here user can type and user can search. Now below this text box, I'm adding a data list. Data list. Data list you can add anywhere. This data list should have a reference ID because it must be unique in reference. And the ID I will give as terms. Terms is an ID. And this data list contains option. And options I'm giving as JavaScript tutorial. JavaScript tutorial. And another option like CSS examples. Okay. Another option like JavaScript projects. Okay. And another option like CSS projects. And some details we are defining here. So JavaScript examples like this. Now what happens? This is a data list. You can never see this data list in the page. Data list is never seen in the page. This data list contains some collection of options which you can attach with any input element. So we have this input element. So I will give the name as txt search. You can give any name. And this txt search is the input. And I want this search text box to use this data terms. That means it can use an attribute here called list attribute. List refers to a data list ID. It refers to a data list ID. Here the data list is terms. Terms is the data list ID. It refers to the data list ID. And I'm just giving as terms. Okay, save. And once you refresh this, you can see that now a data list is attached to the text box. You click inside, you can see that list of all options will come. You can see JavaScript tutorial, examples, JavaScript projects, all these options will come. Remember, this is not a drop down. It is not a drop down. It is just a text box. That list comes here, and advantage is you can start typing your characters. Suppose I'm typing examples. You can see examples. It will give the suggestion, CSS example, JavaScript example. You can select any. Suppose I am searching for JavaScript. You can see JavaScript related topics will come. I'm searching for CSS, it will give CSS. I'm searching for projects, it will give projects. JavaScript projects, CSS projects, like this. So when you are keying in some characters, it will search for those characters inside that list, and it will alert you the list that are matching with the characters that you have defined. That's what actually this data list will do. By default, data list will not show anything. It cannot display anything. Data list requires some list of options which you need to attach with the input. Remember, we have to attach with the input only. We need to attach with the input. So you cannot attach with any another element, because so it should support the input of characters. And when you are typing the characters, so based on what you are typing, it will search for that and display. So it requires that searching for based on the items that you have defined. So you have to define a data list and configure the data list. So this is the basic purpose of an attribute list. So it refers to data list, and data list is a collection of options which are displayed automatically when user keying in the characters. It is a custom autocomplete for input. Yesterday, last session, you saw autocomplete, which gives what you have recently used. Remember, this will not be deleted even you clean the history, because this is a permanent list. Even you clean the history, this list will be there every time, because this is a custom list. Generally, in real-time application, what we do is we bring this list from database and show dynamically with, but you cannot directly communicate with the database. For that, you need server-side technologies and all. In real world, I am saying that we will not have a hard-coded list. We will have the list coming from the database and use that. But finally, we have to display through this data list and list option only. Right? So that is one important about list. And example for this. So this is an example for working with the data list. An example for working with the data list. So this is the basic example. I just given that program here for that list option. A small program here for the list option. This is the program for that list, right? And the main intention here, the main intention is to display an autocomplete list, And this autocomplete list will come automatically when user is typing some characters in the text box. Remember, the same list can be used for any control, any input control which allows input of characters. It is not mandatory that it should be below that text box only. You can keep anywhere and call it. All right. Reasonably, we are using for the text box. That's the reason I have typed there. And important is, so the ID reference is key. So which ID you have defined, the list have to refer to that particular ID. List is equal to, this is the key option for us. So list is equal to the ID of data list. You have to define it, right? So this is another important option for important attribute for input. Next important, another attribute for input is we have a pattern. We will discuss detailedly about patterns in separate JavaScript, because in JavaScript we will come across with a concept called validation. There I will tell you about patterns detailedly. As of now, I will just give you a simple overview how to define pattern. Actually, pattern is nothing but a pattern allows to validate the format of input value. A pattern allows to validate the format of input value. That means when user inputs a value, we can validate the format of input value. Validating the format of input value means, is it according to what our required concept is? Actually, it uses a regular expression. It uses a regular expression for verifying the input value. It uses a regular expression for verifying input value. Very important is regular expression is built by using meta characters and quantifiers. So many meta characters and quantifiers are there. What are meta characters and quantifiers? I will tell you. So many meta characters and quantifiers are there. We will discuss all of them in JavaScript concept while working with validation. In HTML, I will give you just overview what they are. See, actually, suppose we are designing a simple pattern demo.html. Let's create a simple HTML page. Head, so title as pattern, and I am defining body. In that we have a form. In the form, we have a data list with the data term, user name, okay, and data definition. So username, I want a text box. Input type is equal to text. Name is equal to txt name. And for that we are using a placeholder. 4 to 15 characters, uppercase only. That is the condition actually. And now here you can see in this form. So we say username 4 to 15 characters, uppercase only. I will keep a button here, a submit button, just temporarily a button. So this is the register button. When user clicks that register button, it should verify that inside the text box there are only 4 to 15 characters, uppercase letters only. Suppose you are using password, you are using mobile. So suppose we are asking for mobile, and here mobile, and mobile have a pattern. Mobile, for mobile we have input type is equal to text and name is equal to txt mobile. And for mobile we have a placeholder, so +91 +91, and 10 digits. 10 digits. That is just a point we have defined. That's the mobile. So we need to make sure that they are entering the values exactly what we defined to enter there. That means here the point is how you will check whether there are 4 to 15 characters only, uppercase only, how we can check that. 4 to 15 characters only, we have min length, max length. That's okay. But how do we check whether it is having capital letters or not? That is important. How do we check mobile is starting with +91 or not? These are the options we need to check. Technically, we need to check that. So earlier, in order to handle this, we need a lot of logic. We need to depend on a lot of JavaScript. We have to write JavaScript functions. But now HTML5 have a special attribute called pattern, which can allow to handle this without writing much logic. But important point is you need to know how to write patterns. Actually, patterns are built by using meta characters and quantifiers. Actually, there are so many meta characters and quantifiers. I will give a detailed overview about them in JavaScript, not in HTML. Here, I will just give you some basic. What are the meta characters? How to write simple, basic. Detail you will learn in JavaScript. Actually, here we have meta characters. Like, let's add a meta character here. We have meta characters and quantifiers actually. What are the meta characters available? Let's see. I'm adding a simple table there. Okay. We have meta characters and only few I will tell you. Meta character and description. Actually, we have meta characters like question mark. Question mark. Question mark is a meta character, and usually the meaning of this question mark, meta character question mark, is it refers to so 0, 0 or one occurrence of 0 or one occurrence of character, 0 or one occurrence of character, question mark. And asterisk indicates 0 or more occurrences of character. 0 occurrences of character. And plus indicates 1 or more occurrences of character. So we have a question mark, we have asterisk, we have plus. These are some meta characters. See, a lot of meta characters are there. I said already, I'm not discussing about all of them now because we will have a separate session on that when we are learning JavaScript. Here, I'm showing that HTML have reduced that effort of JavaScript so that we can directly handle that with HTML also. So what is actually this question asterisk plus one simple point I will show you. See, for example, here we have a text box. Here we did 4 to 15 that we will see later. Suppose temporarily in that text box, I will give I will give a text box. Type, color, verify word, something like this. I'm using verify word, okay. And here input type is equal to text, and name is txt verify, and in this I give a placeholder saying that so verify color or COLOUR. That's the option I given there. Yeah. Now important here, I'm asking the user that you should type only 2 words there, either COLOR or COLOUR. Anything else other than that user typed, it should not accept. Currently, I'm entering username, I'm entering some mobile number. We are not validating them, so leave them. Verify word. If user types another word other than those 2, it should not accept. Currently, it is accepting anything. You can see it is submitting anything. It should not do that. It should submit only those 2 words. It should not allow any another word. Then how you write a validation for that? How do we verify that? Actually, in those 2 words, the spelling COLO, up to that everything common. R is also common. Only the U character, in one spelling it is 0. There is no U character. In another spelling, only one time it can occur. So COLOUR, only one time it can occur. Then we use a question mark for 0 or 1 occurrence. Any character 0 occurrence or 1 occurrence, then we use this question mark. 1 or more occurrences, then we use asterisk. 1 or more occurrences of character. 0 or more occurrences, we use asterisk. 1 or more occurrences, then we use this plus mark. I will show you actually. So what we will do now here in the design for this text box, I am writing a pattern. And how do we write the pattern? Here, writing the pattern, I am writing COLOUR. Okay. If I write like this, it will allow only color, COLOUR. It will not allow anything else. I will save this. I will refresh here. Okay, I am typing some other spelling and register. It says, please match the requested format. I am typing COLOR and register. It is not allowing. I am typing COLOUR. Now it is allowing. We can submit. Anything else other than that is not allowed. Without COU, it is not allowing. Please match the requested format. But according to our requirement, it should allow COLOR, COLOUR. That means this U occurrence, that U occurrence can be 0 times or it can be 1 time. Then we can write in the pattern after the U, we can write a question mark. After the U, we can write a question mark, right? So what does that means? That means now you can have 0 occurrence or you can have 1 time occurrence, 1 occurrence or 0 occurrence. Now let's check this. Now let's check this. I will refresh here. Remember, patterns you cannot write like COLOUR, comma, COLOR, comma, like that. That is invalid. You have to just write an expression which will verify all of them. And you can see now, this is a good pattern now. And observe here, I type some spelling register. It's not allowing. I am typing COLOUR and OK. It is submitting. Good. I am typing COLOR without U. It is also submitting. That's good. That means you can see at the top, we have a COLOR also. COLOR submitted. So anything else, suppose COLOUR, then it is not allowing. Anything else, you typed any character else, it will not allow. It will not allow. It should exactly match. Now 2 spellings are allowed. COLOR is allowed. COLOUR is allowed. How you handle this? By using a regular expression, by using a pattern. And here I used that pattern. Okay, let's do one thing. I used plus symbol here. What does the meaning of plus symbol? If I am using plus symbol, the meaning of plus symbol is you must be 1 time or more times, but not without U. There cannot be without view. That means now I will save this and refresh here. And I am typing COLOR. COLOR is not allowed because you must be at least 1 time. Okay. COLOUR. And you can see it is allowed. COLOUR. And it is also allowed. You add U any number of times. It is allowed. It is allowed. Right? But it should allow actually only 1 time or 0 times. In that case, we can use question mark. If I use plus symbol, then it will allow more than 1. That means plus symbol means 1 or more occurrences. Asterisk means 0 or more occurrences. That means suppose if I give an asterisk here, if I give an U asterisk here, this indicates, now I refresh here, this indicates 0, COLOR, it is working, submitted. And COLOUR, that is also working. And COLOUR, so that is also working. Because asterisk indicates 0 or many. Plus indicates 1 or many. So that is what 0 or more, 0 or 1 or 1 or more. Like this, you have a lot of special characters, meta characters, with a different set of meanings for them. We have to know how to use those meta characters, which I will tell you in later stage. We will discuss about that in later stage. Detailedly, I will tell you. Here, I will just give you an overview of them. So suppose we have meta characters in square brace, like I written A hyphen Z. This indicates only uppercase allowed, uppercase allowed. Suppose I defined, so 0 hyphen 9. This indicates only numeric allowed, numeric allowed, allowed. So many others are there. Don't tell about this and that because we will learn later. We will learn later about all patterns. I'm just giving you a basic overview of patterns. Like that so much. That means only uppercase allowed, uppercase capital letters, only number allowed, like that. You have to write in the square brace. So much, so many are there, we will see later. This is actually meta character, meta character. At the same time, suppose you want any special characters. Special characters are preceded with slash. Slash is used, it is used for any individual entity, like a special character. It is used for individual entity like special character. I already told you, so much is there. We will learn everything in JavaScript. You can write everything in the world, right? But you have to learn how to write anything. That is what I said. So when I start teaching you this point, you will have a lot of doubts, right? And everything is possible. You can write everything, but you have to learn. And this is not the right time to learn about meta characters that you will learn in JavaScript. I'm giving just an idea of what is this pattern attribute is. The pattern attribute is reducing the effort of your JavaScript for validation, which you will learn in JavaScript, how validations are done. Then you can implement here directly. Okay, you can write anything. You can write multiple meta characters. You can write single word, right? You can write anything. So a lot of options are there. That is the reason I said we will detailedly discuss in JavaScript. We can add many meta characters. Anything is possible. Everything is possible. According to situation, we have to learn how to build them. So the meta characters I showed you is only 1% of meta characters. A lot of meta characters are there. You are going to learn in JavaScript. And you can learn all type of building of meta characters and using them, right? So that's, you will get clarified with everything, whatever the doubts you have related to when you learn about it. Initially, you see here, only few things I'm explaining you. Slash for individual special characters. This is only for uppercase and lowercase, like that. For example, now what we are doing is we are configuring. Suppose if I say A hyphen Z, this indicates only uppercase letters allowed. But how many uppercase letters allowed? This indicates only one, any one uppercase, either A or B or C or D or Z, only one allowed. We have to mention quantity. Actually, quantity is mentioned by using quantifier. Quantifier. We have quantifiers also. Remember, I already told you, I am giving you only very basic level introduction, which you will learn detailedly in JavaScript. So meta characters, so many are there. In so many ways, we can write the meta characters. Quantifier. Quantifier indicates quantity. So quantifiers are written like this in the flower brace. So N. That means N refers to number, a number. So that means suppose if I return 4, this means exactly only 4 allowed, 4 characters allowed. Exactly only 4 characters allowed. Not less than 4, not greater than 4. I'm just giving a number 4. Like that, you can give any number. If I write like this, 4 comma 10, that means n comma m. That means nm refers to numbers like 4 comma 10. This indicates minimum 4, minimum 4, and maximum 10 characters allowed. That is quantity. Suppose we return n comma. This indicates, that means 4 comma and flower brace close. This indicates minimum 4 and maximum any number of characters. Maximum any number of characters. This is quantity, quantifier. And these are meta characters. And you are learning only an introduction of meta characters. When you learn all meta characters, you will understand complete scenario of how we write validations that you will do in JavaScript. Observe here now, by using this, I'm writing here a pattern. What should be the pattern? So for this color pattern is COLOU ? Okay. What should be the pattern for the first text box? 4 to 15 characters uppercase only allowed. Then how do we write? We write a pattern. In the pattern, only uppercase letters allowed. That means in the square brace, A-Z. Okay. How many uppercase allowed? 4 to 15. Then quantity you have to define 4 comma 15. That's it. That is how we write the pattern. That means now the name is allowed with 4 to 10 characters. 4 to 15 characters, only uppercase. A to Z indicates only uppercase. Let's save this now. And here refresh. And I am typing here some John in small letters. And click register. It says please match requested format. That means 4 uppercase only allowed. So minimum 4. Okay. Maximum 15. Minimum 4 uppercase satisfied. Okay. Then click register. Then it is submitting. You can see name John is submitted. It is allowing it. That means it is allowing only what you need for that particular. Anything else you typed, it says not valid. It will allow only 4 to 15 characters, uppercase letters. Anything else, it is not allowing. Any name you can type. You have to type. You can see it's not working. And when you type only uppercase letters and within the condition, then it is going to submit it. So because minimum 4 and maximum 15. That is how you manage a pattern for this name. Suppose mobile. Mobile should start with +91 and 10 digits number. Then how do we write here? Here for mobile, I am writing a pattern. It should start with plus symbol. Then for symbols, we use slash plus. After that, 91 is mandatory. Okay. After 91, only numbers allowed. Only numbers means 0-9. So here you are using multiple. And how many numbers allowed? 10 digits only allowed. Not less than 10 digits, greater than 10 digits. Exactly 10 digits. Less than 10 digits, not allowed. Greater than not allowed. Remember, after +91, 10 digits. That is the pattern we written. Suppose I am writing here 987654321. This is 10 digit number. And submit. It is not working, so it should not work there. Why? Because so whatever we have defined, we will refresh there. And here I will enter now. So 10 digits number is there. And here we are entering some John. And here register, it says please match. So it should not allow. So that means 10 digits number is there, 9876, but it is not submitting. Because it should start with plus 91. Now it is allowed to submit. It's working now. So anything else that you have typed, suppose this plus 919 is one is missing, it is not allowed. It should exactly match, then it will allow. So already I told you, this is very beginning level of learning. So a lot of things are there to validate. So many issues will come. We have to solve that. We have to write the patterns accordingly. Generally, when you learn about the patterns, so usually, I will tell you, that's what I said. Again, you come with the same question, how to give space, how to, I just said we are learning introduction to the patterns. I told you already that you will have a lot of doubts. This is not the right time to discuss. Again, you are asking how to give space, sir, for space, what to do, without space, what to do, right? Observe, right? We are discussing exactly the point, right? Clearly, I'm saying that you will have a lot of doubts, but this is not the right time. But just we need to discuss about that attribute. So I'm giving you only few things, right? Because this is where our main concentration will be in JavaScript while learning validations and all. Validation is a very big part, and UI developer need to deal with these validations everywhere whenever he design a form. And you need to be very strong in this. You will be tested on validations. When you are attending interviews also as a fresher, they will test you on validations. They will give you that, write a pattern for email, write a pattern for password. They will say password must be 4 to 15 characters with at least one uppercase letter. So much complexity in the patterns they will give you. You after all learned only 3 things. How to allow one character, multiple characters, how to allow uppercase letters. With that, you can't manage everything. This is just an introduction for that. So this is to tell our HTML people that earlier we need to do all this in JavaScript. Now it is easy. You can directly manage in HTML also. In JavaScript, you will learn how to write these meta characters, quantifiers, detail. So many are there. We will learn about all of them. We will discuss about all of them. So how do you give a space? How do we give special characters? How do we allow start with, end with? So how do we allow any one uppercase, minimum lowercase, like that? So much is there. I will just show you one point here. For example, suppose you are writing a password. So we are configuring here some password. So data term. So we are using password. And according to the requirement, so password, according to the requirement password, input type as password, name as txt pwd, okay, password. And here, according to the requirement, so we put a placeholder of 4 to 10 characters. So with at least one uppercase letter. That is what the condition is. And this is so much complex thing we have asked for. 4 to 10 characters with at least one uppercase letter, like we have given that. Now, important, generally we write a pattern. So pattern contains a lot of complexity. So we write question mark equal dot star square brace a hyphen z This indicates at least one uppercase letter /W. So, and 4,10. This is how we write. And to explain you all this, it requires a complete session of validations to understand. It's not just 5 minutes you learned about pattern and you will write a pattern. So many complications are there. This we have to learn in a separate scenario. How to use the combinations. How do we work with the combinations? Now see here, that is the pattern I written there. And I'm entering password. Suppose John 1, 2, 3. That means lowercase allowed, uppercase allowed, numbers allowed, but one uppercase letter must be there. And when I register, it's not working because I don't have one uppercase letter. I will give one uppercase letter and click on register. Now it is working. In that you see John 1, 2, 3, one uppercase letter is there. A, uppercase letter A is there. So that means suppose I will show you so that we can even see directly in the advanced browsers, the passwords, what we are typing actually. That means I written a pattern here. And in the password, so we are entering here. So some password, John 1, 2, 3. I will click here what I am typing to view. You can see John 1, 2, 3. And you can hide that password here. Right? Here I am using John 1, 2, 3. And according to our uppercase letter, means according to our pattern, one uppercase letter must be there. At least one uppercase letter must be there. Then this password is submitted. Otherwise, it cannot submit that password. So one uppercase letter is there. So that means one uppercase letter is typed. Then I can submit that password. You can see one uppercase letter is submitted at the top. So lot of options are there. You are asked to write with so many validations. So you need to write them. So we haven't learned that much of regular expression here. We just learned after all only few things, because I need to make you understand about current HTML attribute called pattern, which is a new attribute into HTML. And why this new attribute introduced? Because this new attribute is to allow a specific format of value. So later you are going to detailedly learn about that. Temporarily, one example, this you can practice. This is a simple example for that. You can temporarily practice this example with the patterns. You can handle that by using patterns. This is a simple option for patterns. So this is one option for patterns. So I'm just giving you a simple example for dealing with the pattern, so that later when we discuss in JavaScript, then you will have a complete idea about that. So this is a simple example. So our main intention here is to understand how you can verify the format of a value and how you can allow any specific format of value, how you can restrict the specific format of value, which is very important for validations especially. And you know about validations generally in dynamic JavaScript and jQuery, we will use this very much. Right. So technically, only 3-4 options I showed you. What is this 0 or 1 occurrence, mini occurrence, uppercase, lowercase, lot of things we have to implement there to handle this situation. So this is a pattern, and this is one new attribute available for HTML. So these are all important properties for input element. So important attributes for input element. So input element is not like the early days HTML input element. Now the new HTML5 input element contains lot of attributes, so which make it more better in performance. And some are available in old versions, some are newly added. We learned all of them, important, what are there for input we discussed. But here you have learned how to deal with, how do we deal with elements like a text box, like a password, like date, time, so like email, so like file. So these are the things we discuss. Now, while dealing with forms, we need to learn about how to deal with radio buttons. How do we deal with checkbox? How do we deal with drop-down list? How do we deal with list box? These all comes under the form elements, like a meter, like a progress. So these are all the form elements we need to learn. We just learned only one set of elements: input text, input password, input date, input email, input file, like that. Now we have radios, checkboxes, drop downs, list box, meters, progress, and others. If we know how to design, use them, so first we need to know what is their purpose and how to use them. Then we can design a form, and we can create a UI from where user can interact in different ways. Now we need to learn about other elements inside the form: radios, checkboxes, drop downs, list box, and all that we will see in our next session, right? So mostly by tomorrow, we can finish the forms by understanding all other elements. Then once you finish this forms concept, now we need to learn some more advanced options in HTML. With that, we will finish HTML and we will go into CSS now, styles, right? So some more advanced options in HTML after the forms we will discuss. Then we will move on to CSS. How do we work with the styles, right? Then mostly by tomorrow, we will finish this forms concept. Tomorrow, we will discuss about other elements in the form, okay? Right. And all